Hey guys, how's it going this afternoon? Facebook Live. Hey, I thought I'd start doing something to rip off from a hero of mine in the ministry, Tom Rayner, as he has started to have a daily Facebook Live video or close to daily about various blog posts. And since I write an article about once a day, 5 days a week, I thought, well, I might give this a shot today and just see how it works. Today I wrote about if you just up and move to your community, would you go to your church? And so I hope that you'll check out that article. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and give you a link. Let's see here if I can figure out how to do this. Yeah. All right. So I just provided a link for that article right there in the notes section. But let's just assess for a little bit. One, if you would go to your church if you just moved to your community, then why? Why would you go there? It might be because of the amazing kids ministry, the musical worship is phenomenal. Perhaps the preaching style is the type of style that helps you to grow the best, and maybe you like the facilities. Maybe it's just simply the proximity to your house. But what is it that causes you to want to go to that church? Hi, Kyle Peters. Great to see you in here. But what causes that? And so a way that you can deal with this is you can just go up to church members and who've recently joined the church and say, look, I'm not looking for you to kiss up to me. What I want to know is genuinely, what is it that drew you to join our church? And so reach out to them and ask them, basically, you're trying to learn what you're doing well. And then as you, hey, Dr. Laborg, great to see you. And so anyway, after you've contacted some of these church members and asked them, hey, what is it that drew you to our church? If you're seeing a constant theme, for example, kids ministry, I'm just throwing one out of the air. If you're noticing that you're getting a large number of people who are joining because your kids ministry is doing really, really well, then what you want to do is to reward your kids ministry volunteers, your kids pastor, if you have a staff team and stuff like that. And then give them gift cards, like a $5 gift card to Starbucks or something like that. That might buy them half of a mocha. But and then when budget time comes, if you're noticing that ministry is really churning out a lot of people to come to your church, that might be a sign that you need to put a little bit more money into that line item come the next fiscal year. And so that's something to assess within those strengths that you love, and then communicate to your church family, hey, we've been asking around people who've recently joined, and we've learned that such and such ministry, going back to the kids ministry example, that ministry is just really doing well and is helping to attract people to our church. And so I just want to say a word of prayer, answer to prayer from God that a ministry is doing well. And also just to give some words of affirmation to our leadership and our kids ministry, and give that word from the pulpit, and put something behind it, just to show those encouraging words to help that if you would go to the church if you first moved there, those are some reasons why. Now let's address the other half of the situation. That's if you up and move to your community and you would not go to your church, why? And or why wouldn't you, I guess you could say. And then as you ask that question, you kind of drill down to fix the problem, because you don't want to say, man, if I up and move to Raleigh, North Carolina, I would never go to the church that I pastor or whatever. And so anyway, as you ask that question, a great way to figure out what would deter people from coming, and I know this sounds so painful, is to go to people who've recently left your church and to ask them just some simple questions about, hey, I'm not looking to get just the tar beat out of me about how horrible I am, but maybe it has nothing to do with the pastor or whatever. But you need to learn why people would be leaving. Just as you need to learn why people are coming, you also need to learn why people are leaving. And if you're seeing a constant theme of something going on, that might be a sign that there are some adjustments that need to be made in the ministry. And so as you ask those sorts of questions, I'm just looking at my little cheat sheet over here, that's the time when, after you've called, and like I was talking to one of our staff team members today, like my plan is before a week from tomorrow, we're going to have a big staff advance that we do every summer. I don't call it a retreat, I call it an advance because we're moving forward. But as we have our staff advance next week, I said, look, I'm going to contact 5 people who've recently joined the church and ask them why, figure out some ministries doing well, and then contact 5 families who've left the church and ask them why, and figure out what's going poorly. And maybe I can grow, maybe some of our staff members can grow, and we just need to be mature enough and grown up enough to realize there are bad things that happen at every church. There are good things that happen at every church. And so then we'll just drill down to developing some strategic plans to move to the next level. So as you develop those strategic plans, this is when you just get down to the basic steps about how to move to a next level. You assess the situation, then you develop goals. Okay, where do we want to go? And then as we assess those goals, how are we going to get there? Getting step-by-step action steps, action points coming out of that, and then transitioning from those action steps into just getting a deadline of when those action plans are going to be accomplished, as well as having accountability for your supervisor to say, man, are you living up to your end of the bargain? And remember that whenever there's accountability, it's a lot more simple for us when we have leadership times like a leadership live video right now, for us to say, yeah, you should hold people accountable. It's another thing if you just start to get down to the point where, oh man, I'm supposed to ask them if they did that. I hope they don't think I'm like riding on them or something like that. And I found this is such a practical tool for you today. If you have somebody with whom you need to hold them accountable, you need to use Google Chrome as your web browser, and you need to download a plugin on Google Chrome called Boomerang. And Boomerang is a free plugin, and it's used with Gmail. And so here's what Boomerang is. It is a plugin where you can send an email from your Gmail account, and you can send it where it won't send until the future. So here's something when I'm holding one of my staff team members accountable. Let's say everybody, and this is actually a true thing, by Tuesday at noon of next week, everybody in our staff team has to have a report sent to me in preparation for us to have all of our data in for us to leave Thursday morning and go to Knoxville together when our whole staff's going to Faith Promise for our staff advance. So as we do that, I have already written that email, and it's programmed via the Boomerang app to be sent out Tuesday at 3 a.m. And that way it's saying, hey, by noon, you need to have this in the inbox. And then that reminds me that I copy myself on that email to remind myself that I actually sent it already. So that's a great way to hold somebody accountable. And then after you have the accountability and you execute, and then you just straight up celebrate. And so if you move to your community, would you go to your church? If you would, why? If you wouldn't, why not? Assess, develop those goals, and then just dominate. Okay, so I hope that helps you today. Also, I hope that this live video helps with some of my articles that I write. So anyway, let me know what you think about this. If you'd rather just read the article and not really have any video commentary, or if you prefer something like this. So anyway, I'm just kind of tweaking and playing and stuff like that. But I hope you guys are doing well today. I've had a very productive day, probably the most productive day I've had in 3 or 4 weeks. So really, really grateful. But anyway, love you guys. See ya.